Welcome back, guys. We're here to do the Sagittarius Divine Masculine update. If you are wishing to make a booking, the link is below, as well as the new channel that's going to be launched as of January 1st, which is all very much connected to the twin flame journey. I am a twin flame. I'm psychic. For the tribe that's returning, welcome. And let's have a look at what is going on with this mid-month. Now, Venus is going direct as of the 16th. Mercury is also going retrograde. Now, that can cause conflict in communication, but your frequency should be picking up a little bit. Also, another thing to be mindful of is that Jupiter is returning into its home sign. It's leaving Scorpio and it's returning to Sagittarius, so it's going to be in its own frequency. A lot of the energy that would have come through from the Sagittarius frequency would have been, you know, the shadow aspect of the twin flame roles and connections and karmic paths, but it's also the death of something and the beginning of a new thing. So I wanted to have a look at the intent, obviously, and these videos are going to be very much from the frequency of that date moving forward. Now, do be mindful. You know, each person is on their own very individual path, and unless you actually get a personal reading and find where you are at, what blocks you have, and if you're, you know, if you're on track, I mean, you can gauge that yourself intuitively, but make sure at all times you're grounded. And if you are needing the help, feel free to book a reading and I can work with you. Otherwise, join the tribe and you may get some free readings and insight. So we do live sessions on the channel, this one. Now, past tense frequency of what's coming through for Sagittarius is that, you know, you really needed an aspect of clarity and you were feeling very unsure about the connection. You might have really been going on hunches and intuitions, but needing more clarity. There may have been things that were hidden and things that you were burying that you weren't willing to show to your twin, to your feminine. It was like a lot of secrets. Now, your feminine frequency, how they're thinking of the situation, they're trying to be very rational. They're trying to understand the reasons why this happened. Some of it, I feel, if a conversation happens, they will gain the clarity in relation to it. And you're also looking at your consistencies within the direct dynamic with your twin. Although the feminine was wanting to be very, they were very open, and I think a realization has come through to you of that nature. At the moment where you are, you feel there is a situation you're in that's very risky. You may find the connection to feel like a risk, but I feel this is a separate frequency. We'll tune into it and we'll see what's coming through. Okay, it may be due to finances, it's a risk at the moment, and it might be knowing how much you actually need to invest. But I do feel for those of you who have a karmic dynamic, I feel you're feeling the risk within that dynamic, and you're sort of evaluating the relationship in a whole, and you're seeing the value that feminine had towards you because you're seeing some sense of secrets going on within this connection currently. Now, moving forward, an ending of a cycle is coming for you masculines. So it can feel very unsafe. It is going to be upheaval. Your intent may very much be that in order to gain your feminine. And it is directly in relation to love that this is ending and moving into a new chapter. So even at a very karmic level, if there was no karmic involved, it's cycles we hold that can be connected to our blocks, the mirror in our life where we need to transform. But this is a very karmic cycle that we're tying up this year. It's a very unusual year, especially moving into the frequency of the age of Aquarius. This transformation is going through all the way to 2020. Currently, where you stand, feminine, and the way they're seeing the situation is you may have your guard up. You're also recouping after the connection didn't go to the next level and promises weren't like gained. They're hoping that you haven't reconnected with somebody or connected with somebody. Moving forward, they know you're getting very tired, so they are being cautious about how they're coming in towards you due to past tense situations that didn't go through correctly with you in your life and connected to each other. How are other people influencing them? Let's have a look. Betrayals. They're releasing their hopes connected to one thing and gaining hope in another because of a lack of commitment in a connection. They're also very nostalgic of the past and they're moving towards it. They're reminiscing back down memory lane of why they made a left or right turn. Why, wondering what it would have been like had they taken a different road. They're actually speaking to somebody as well in relation to this aspect of betrayal. And I'm hearing trust. Trust in relation to past tense partners if they don't have a karmic. Past tense parts. And I feel they're communicating with a very close friend. How others are influencing the feminine. Let's see. They're trying, some people may be saying to you, you need to let it go. Your ego, when we're in a very fatigued state, we enter into the 4D realm, which is where, especially when we're channeling, we need to be very mindful because we can actually, in frequency, collect it and manifest certain dynamics. For you spiritually, you're really battling with yourself in holding on or letting go. But it's the thing that you're letting go of is the old frequency. It's not the actual twin. When we're very angry or hurt or feel betrayed, especially with Venus retrograde on top of the fact of what has transpired in your connection, what then does happen is very much the energy of fatigue and dismay in the joint connection. Now, you can also be cautious about your finances and be worried about your position at an emotional finance. I just feel a very vulnerable frequency moving forward right here, how you're feeling. You're very tired. How they're looking at this. They may be actually seeking out what you're doing and trying to gain insight. And how they're looking at the past is they're really looking at changing the situation around. Looking at how they need to maybe take a leaf out of your book and act in a manner you do in order to make it through this cycle. I do feel in a way what they are seeing is where other people were manipulating the situation and how thoughts and patterns have been manipulating and affecting this dynamic in a give and take. What they want to see change is the relief of the stress and the delays. They want it to hurry up. Their intentions are very much very old-fashioned. They do want the connection. And the actions they're taking, again, can be that they're trying to round up a karmic cycle, get to a place where they're well-rounded and balanced. Finances, home, gathering their mindset, especially moving away from this in the past. They're aware of this factor. The possible outcome is one thing they're not communicating to you is they're very jealous. And see, I'm even having trouble saying it. It may not have looked like they are. They're very unique individuals in the way they display their frequency. They're feeling also, for a separate group of them, that there were people that were jealous of the direct connection and they're trying to tie that karmic cycle up. This could be exes, twins with children. They're trying to be very protective because they know the potential of what these people were in the past. Now, in relation to contact, they think they're going nuts, okay? They really think they're going nuts. They're a bit worried you may have a relationship, but they're also meditating upon how they can do this. They're really unsure. They're trying to map it out, but their feelings are they need to become grounded and end this cycle in order to move forward. Now, in relation to finances, it can be for those of them who have children. They're dealing with financial related situations and contracts with exes with children. Others of them might have a karmic that's younger than them, and they know that by splitting funds it's going to cause an issue. Others are looking at it like they want to take it back to the way it was at the very beginning. But it can also be a business venture that's very young and about to get off the ground. In relation to love, you know, they're really trying to shape up in that domain, in that department. But they also know in order to do that, an old cycle has to end. Let me pull a clarifier on that. What is this old cycle? Yeah, it can be the wild ways, can be the communication style, their expression, their self-control, communicating their truth of what they want and opening their heart, okay? Leaving a situation that they don't feel invested in. Financially, those of you who are cross watchers, the masculines feel that you've learnt a lot, you know, with your finances, or you know, you're a well-rounded individual that's responsible. You also, they know that you want to grow old together. They feel that this is the one. They also know the path forward means that there can't be any other energies interfering in the dynamic, and know they can't go back over old ground in a sense to take back everything that's happened, but they wish to return to that nostalgia of the past. Love and light, and I will see you during the month.